Hi, this is Angelina Asante. Welcome to this episode of Southwest Florida Online News. Today we're talking to the Padres hitting coach, Victor Rodriguez. Hi, Victor.
Oh, how you doing? It's a pleasure of mine to be here and get to talk baseball with you.
Well, thank you. Congratulations on your new position. That's very exciting. We're so happy for you. And you've had your own interesting baseball career. So now I want to know, what key fundamentals do you emphasize when you're coaching other people? Because you yourself were a good hitter.
I think the main thing to become a good coach, especially with hitting, is getting the trust of the players. Because when you try to teach hitting, it's such a difficult thing that if you don't have the trust of the players, when you send a message, you really don't know if they believe or they listening to you. So for me, the main thing I like to do is get their trust and get them to believe in me, knowing that I'm going to be, and I'm going to put the time and effort to get them better and get them prepared. So that for me is the main thing. Coaching is such a difficult thing. Playing the game is such a difficult thing, and just getting them to trust, the message that I'm going to give them is the more important part.
Well, now this is going to be a nice reunion for you and Xander Bogaerts. How are you thinking your approach to coaching is going to help that team? Because I know they probably are a little nervous having a new coach. They don't know you like he does.
I think, like I said, hitting is hitting, and I think it's a lot of things have changed through the years, but it's a few things that hasn't changed, and it's a getting to know them, helping them to prepare not only physically but mentally. And it helps when you got Bogart, a guy that you had in the past and believe and trust you.
So I know a lot of professional athletes and Olympians use what the device is called is visualization. How much of that do you use when you're coaching? And do your guys are they familiar with that? And do they already use that before you've even gotten to them? Because that's something I actually, when I'm in obviously I'm just doing it for fantasy camp, but I visualize that I'm going to crush the ball, and it does seem to help.
I think technology is a lot of things out there. Technology has been so big the last few years. I'm a hitting coach that believe in technology, believe in analytics, but I'm more a preparation kind of guy. I like to be in the cage. I like to work on routines. I like to work on mechanics. I like to work on who we facing that day and how we're going to attack that person. I think nowadays the organization have all kinds of people, doing all those, technology thing, and they're available. They're available for them, and different players do different things, and they trust different things. So I think the organizations nowadays are putting a lot of things out there to help players get better.
Well, now I know that players have to make adjustments when they're facing different kinds of pitchers or situations. How do you prepare your guys for that?
Well, it's information, it's data, and it's a lot of them have faced them in the past. So all that information, we can put it together to create an approach to attack that pitcher. So, overall is understanding the information and the data and the analytics to put together a plan to attack that pitcher. So different pitcher, different way of doing things, but we're going to focus on what the pitcher have and how we're going to put ourselves in a position to compete against that guy.
Now, I know your career has spanned through decades of the major leagues, but can you think of a specific situation when you had to make an adjustment with a player you've worked with?
Of course. The biggest one was Xander Bogaerts. 2014, Bogaerts was struggling after his first year in the major league, and it came a time in September 1st, 2014, that Bogaerts came to me and said that I was his guy. I was going to be the guy that's going to help him from now on. And I told him, I've been there for you. He said, no, but this time I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to trust you. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do. So we decided to do a couple drills just to get just to get him in a good position to hit. Mostly because he needed to stay back, and he was a drifter. He's a guy that want to go get the ball. So we start doing a drill, a step back drill that allowed him to stay back and use the backside to drive the ball. And we start doing it, and right away he felt pretty good about it. And he took that to the game and had a pretty good game that day. And I think from that day on until now, that's 10 years ago. He still believe and trust that drill that we did.
What is something helpful that you can tell people when they're in a hitting slump?
In a hitting slump, just remember the things that you did when you were going good. You know, that's the main thing about a slump. You know, slumps are gonna come. That's nothing you can stop. You cannot stop slump. But a lot of times we realize and we start doing things we win a slump, and we forget that the main thing is when you're going good mentally and physically, those are the things you need to remember to get back on track. So, you know, especially when the guys are doing good, I try to force them to remember the feeling and the preparation they're doing, so when things are not going good, they can get back to that.
Now, what is the difference in coaching for a younger player versus a veteran?
Younger players don't know yet how to act, how to prepare. So you have to show them, you know, the way you prepare, especially at the major league level. You know, what it takes to be a productive hitter in the major league. Because a lot of times, you know, we know they done enough in the minor league that they bring them up to the major league. Now it's time for us to show them the way to prepare and to get them to believe in themselves. They believe that they belong in the major league. Veteran players, they know how to prepare. You just have to remind them things that they do, and that's it. You know, younger players, you just have to be more hands-on and show them the rope on how to do things.
So last year they changed the pitch clock. And so do you think that the new changes this year are going to make much of a difference, or you think that everybody got used to it?
I think at the beginning was something different, and the guys were getting used to it. But as the year went on, we didn't notice it. We didn't notice the bag, how big the bag were at the beginning. Wow. And then you look at it and say, man, that looked like a pizza box, how big it was. Then at the end, it was like a normal base, because you get used to it. You know, you do that every day. You know, the pitch time was every day. You sliding and playing around a big bag every day. So it was normal. So it's about getting used to the changes.
Well, what are you most excited about? Because that's cross country for you. Now you live in Fort Myers, so this is going to be a big difference for you. What are you most excited about living in San Diego?
The most exciting part is just being the hitting coach for the San Diego Padres. It's a good team, a lot of talent. And when you coach in the major league and you have a chance to play playoff and go deep in the playoff and play in the World Series, you always get excited. You know, a chance to compete, a chance to win a lot of games, and a chance to go play baseball, a playoff baseball. So that's what I see about this opportunity.
And I know the Padres are actually going to Tampa this year, so we're going to make sure we get seats for that game so we can root you on. We'll have to do it quietly, though, because we don't want the Rays fans coming after us. But I wish you great luck, and I appreciate you sitting down and talking with me for a few minutes today, and I hope you guys have a great season.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the chance to talk baseball. That's what it's all about. You know, a chance to talk baseball and say the things that I believe. I think that's what gave me the opportunity to be the hitting coach of the San Diego Padres. Just the years in the game and the experience that I got. Learn from the players. A lot of the things that I said today is because I've been around good players, and they have taught me the right way of doing things. And
you know, I was going to close this interview out, and I forgot one of my favorite things about your journey to the Padres. Can you talk about how you knew Mike from the from your days back at Pawtucket, wasn't it?
No, in Charlotte.
In Charlotte.
It was 1980. I got called up. I was 17 years old. I got called up to AA in Charlotte. And I got there. Usually when you get there, you don't have a place to live. And Mike Shields was a young kid, probably 12, 13. His mother was the team secretary. And this lady took care of all the Latin players that came up. It doesn't matter, Latin America or whatever. She always took care of them and made sure they were in a good place. And I remember, going to her house, spending the night until I find a place to live. And Mike Shield was there. Mike Shield, at that moment, we became, he was a kid. He was the bad boy, but then we became friends. And that was in 1980. Now it's 2023, and we're still friends. And I'm part of his coaching staff. That's what baseball's all about. You get to know people. You don't know who you really gonna meet. If you treat them good things will happen. And
baseball's a very small world.
Very small world. And I've been in the game 48, 49 years. It's been a long time, and I'm going to San Diego and looking around the organization. It's a lot of people that I know. They know me. I have worked with them. So I'm going to a new place, but a lot of familiar faces that I know I'm going to be comfortable.
Well, thank you again, Victor, for sitting down, and I wish you guys great luck next year.
Thank you. We're looking forward for a great year. It's a good team, good talented team. You just hope you prepare them the best we can to compete every day in and day out. So that's what I'm looking for that.